Hey everyone, welcome back to watchknitting YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to knit one color brioche stitch in the round. A super squishy and stretchy fabric that is perfect for hats, cowls and more. Let's get started. For this tutorial, I'm using 3.5mm 16-inch circular needles. While 4.5mm needles are typically recommended for worsted weight yarn, I recommend downsizing for brioche stitch. And a stitch marker, and I'm using worsted weight yarn. Now let's cast on. For brioche stitch, you need to cast on an even number of stitches. However, consider casting on fewer stitches, approximately 2/3 of your usual stitch count with your given yarn and needles, because in the setup round, we add 1 stitch for every 2 stitches by yarn over, which expands our stitch count. Also, my pro tip is to use a double needle cast on for a stretchy edge, but to avoid a loose joint, use a single needle for the first and last 2 stitches. For this demonstration, I'll cast on 60 stitches plus 1 extra stitch, which will be knit together in the setup round, bringing the stitch count back to 60, which is even number. Now I have 58 stitches on my needle. For the last 2 stitches, I'm using a single needle. Pay attention when removing the extra needle. Choose the one without the stitches on it. I'll pull this needle out and add 2 more stitches plus 1 extra, making it 61. This extra stitch helps to prevent gaps at the joint, making for a smoother finish. Now tie the end and make sure the stitches aren't twisted. I transfer the extra stitch to the left needle and place a stitch marker. For brioche in the round, we work 1 setup round followed by a repeat of 2 round brioche pattern. Here I pause to highlight that the first stitches are knit together, and this is for joining the edge, not part of the repeat. The setup round repeat is knit 1, SL1 yoke. That means knit 1 stitch, which I knit together for joining the round. Then yarn over, slip 1 stitch. This is called SL1 yoke, meaning I yarn over and slip the next stitch purlwise. These 2 stitches will be worked in a group in the next rounds and will be either knit together or purled together. Then repeat knit 1, yarn over and slip 1 to the end of the round. As you can see, I'm slipping the stitch and making the yarn over in one smooth motion. I also place my finger on top of the stitch. This technique saves time and helps maintain even tension. Now I'm gonna repeat until the end of the row, but I'll fast forward to that point. Now I'm at the end of the setup round, ending with SL1 yoke. If you don't end this way, something went wrong and you should go back and check your round. Ensure the last yarn over is positioned correctly at the back. So the general rule for brioche in the round is to slip single stitches and work the pair stitches together, doing either knit 1 together or purl together. Specifically, when there is a single stitch, single knit stitch, work slip 1 yarn over, followed by purl together. When there is a single purl stitch, work slip 1 yarn over and next knit together. Rounds begin with SL1 yoke or slip 1 yarn over because it's a single knit stitch, then followed by purl together. which is commonly called BRP or Brioche Purl. And we call this round purl round. Also remember, since the rows are offset, the stitch worked before the marker must always match the stitch worked after the marker. Both either will be SL1 yoke, or if purled together, next will be knitted together, and vice versa. We ended the previous round with yarn over and slip the purl stitch, and we start this round, slip the knit stitch this time and purl the next stitches together. Now I'm gonna repeat this yarn over, slip one, purl two together until the end of the round, but I will fast forward to the end of the round. Now I'm at the end of round one, ending with purl two together or brioche purl. Keep in mind that in the round we will be alternating between knit rounds and purl rounds. The setup round was a knit round, then round one was purl two together round, and this round will be knit two together. I transfer my stitch marker. As mentioned before, my next stitch after the marker will be similar to offset the pattern, and it will be knit two together or knit brioche, followed by yarn over and slip the purl stitch. Then round two repeats, knit two together or BRK or brioche knit, then SL1 yoke or slip one yarn over. If you missed any tips I gave you, don't worry, I will list them all in the video description for easy reference. This will be the repeat for this round. Then you're gonna repeat round one and round two. Now I'm switching to another sample I worked on further where the lines are more defined. I stopped near the marker point but didn't use a stitch marker as I rely on tips to determine my next steps. Looking closely, you can see I've done a yarn over and slipped the knit stitch, meaning my last stitch was purled together. Since the next stitch on my left needle is a single knit stitch, my repeat continues with SL1 yoke and slipping the knit stitch and then purl two together. If you follow the tips I shared, you can easily figure out which round to work next. Now I'm gonna do another repeat here. Okay, here as you can see, there is another two stitches that need to be worked as a group, and that means I have reached the marker point where I need to switch to new round, and that will be the knit brioche round. Then I do yarn over and pick up the purl stitch. Then it should be knit two together or brioche knit. And as you can see, this is the round transition line. The technique I showed you earlier creates a smooth edge without gaps or unevenness. For binding off, use a stretchy bind off. I have a tutorial for that in my short videos and at the end of one color brioche stitch tutorial on flat. You can check those out. I have worked hard to create a clear and easy to follow tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, feel free to leave them in the comments. Stay tuned for the upcoming two color brioche stitch tutorial, both flat and in the round. Have a wonderful day and happy knitting.